Okay, folks, here we have this recent landslide that has happened. I'm on Highway 18 right now, a safe distance away, hopefully, and on the other side of this guardrail, but traffic is going to be difficult to deal with. But briefly here, I just want to show you this great example of compacted glacial till and old stream sediments, potentially old glacial lake sediments. We're probably, well, that's Tiger Summit up there, that ridge, at about 1,500 feet. We're down from there by 500 or 600 feet. You can see there's quite a clear horizontal striations of different types of material that have been laid down as sediment. Like I said, either old glacial lake sediments. Then we have consolidated glacial outwash material below that. Some of that's likely compacted glacial till. Then we have another, probably even older, ancient lake sediment at the very bottom there. And you can imagine it's impenetrable to water. And so water's coming down, percolating through the soil, hitting those layers, and then starting to come out laterally, and then come out of the side of the hill here. You can see a couple of trees fell down in this recent slide, and exacerbated some of the release of material into the stream here. This is the exact type of landslide that we're trying to avoid on our managed land. And by putting buffers and by not cutting around the top end of these type of areas. But here is just a crystal clear, very, very, very horizontal display of those different glacial sediments. Again, it's like kind of like reading tree rings. Here we're looking back into time, hundreds of thousands of years even, on some of these lower horizons in the soils here. Those sediments could date back to well before the glaciers, when this was covered more in water, before the water was taken up as ice for the glaciers. And then over time, different flood events, different glacial events coming back and forth, and then compacting that area down so it becomes impermeable to water, causing landslides just like this. This is a textbook example, but a very, very, very clear example of sediment material over compacted glacial till and outwash material even, and another layer of sediment. Great example here, except for the road noise. Sorry about that. All right, folks, we are down in the drink here. This is Holder Creek, down in the area where we were just up there looking at the bigger part of the landslide. We just passed a smaller slide over here. You may have seen in the time warp video of me hiking over here. And I wanted to stop here because here's a great example on a smaller scale of what's going on. With these glacial processes, the compacted glacial till layer that we have here, which is obviously impenetrable. You start breaking it apart and you can see, look at the redox happening in there though. And that's, I just knocked out a rock, glacial round rock out of there and uncovered some amazing redox reactions going on there because of the aeration. And you know, even though it's compacted, it's still got some oxygen around it, and so it's going to be doing some redox for sure. Here, if I that and the water, and here if I clean off this face here, we can see just in this small space here. Well, here's a good example of a rock that has redox. This is a piece of sand here that is cemented together. I mean, not so much that I can't break it apart, obviously, because I am, but it was difficult to do. And in here you can see these horizons almost basically you know, different types of minerals being laid down, and there's a lot of iron in there. This is a little bit darker on top. Maybe there's some manganese in that, and it's all very sandy, all very gritty, sandy material in here. And but showing off some great colors there, partially because it's moist soil. You can see here, this is wet. However, this is compacted glacial till on top of this sand. So you have this sand here, compacted glacial till, and then that's like a meter or two deep, and then above that you have more sandy material on top of the compacted glacial till, and that is just causing all kinds of instability in this area here, because of the water acting as basically a lubricant, as I mentioned in the past, between these layers. And really, you know, when there's a lot of water flow and a lot of saturation, you know, even this compacted glacial till over time will take on some water and eventually gain enough weight that it'll slip and slide off into the stream here, which I said is Holder Creek. You can see over there, WashDOT has added these culverts that are reinforced and that are taking the surface runoff and taking them all the way down here to the creek, so they're not eroding the bank away there and here, causing the road to fail eventually. So I'm going to see if I can make it around to the other edge and take a look at some of those sediments over there.